what's going on, people? It's Thor Cow back with you once again for this week on Blu-ray, DVD, and on demand. So much to get through. Let's get right into it, and we begin with a tale as old as time, Beauty and the Beast. Yes, the live-action reimagining of Disney's classic animated tale finally comes home to Blu-ray and DVD. Also, the digital HD copy involved in that one as well. You can get 3 ways to watch the movie with this release: the original theatrical cut, the premiere cut with overture music, and a musical experience with a sing-along version. This, of course, is Emma Watson and Dan Stevens as respectively Belle and the Beast. And yeah, you can get all kinds of great extras in this one, including the first enchanted table read, look at the lavish sets, the elaborately designed costumes and props, and also the state-of-the-art technology that brought this to the big screen in live-action glory. A lot of great cast members in this one. I particularly like Kevin Kline as Belle's father. I thought they did a good job of expanding his story. They really did a lot to... yes, as I mentioned, expand the story, and maybe a little bit too much filler and padding at times. However, the sets were dazzling, the performances were commendable, and the singing was great as well. In addition, you get 10 minutes of deleted scenes, a Beauty and the Beast music video with Ariana Grande and John Legend, as well as Celine Dion's heartfelt take on a new song, How Does a Moment Last Forever? Plus, in the extras, you get that great video of Dan Stevens acting alongside Emma Watson in those scenes where he doesn't have the animation over top of him, so he's got the bizarre performance capture suit and the stilts. And Emma Watson should get an Oscar for keeping a straight face in some of those, because the digital trickery and the mastery when they finished it all together is pretty astounding, considering what they had to work with when they were making it. But that's movie-making magic for you at its finest. Beauty and the Beast, get it now. Let's move along, and this is based on a true story, a romantic drama, A United Kingdom. David Oyelowo from Selma, of course, and Rosamund Pike star in this inspiring true story of the forbidden love between the King of Botswana and a white Englishwoman in the 40s. Of course, we're talking about Seretse Khama. And he was a prince that fell in love with a white woman in London, and they decided to marry just as apartheid was being introduced in South Africa. There was a lot of controversy, not only in London, but also where he was at home in his village and amongst the tribes, too. There was a lot of infighting going on, and it shows how their passionate romance basically triumphed over every obstacle. Bonus features include making of the film in Botswana, the legacy of Seretse and Ruth, and the London Film Festival opening night gala premiere. The movie sort of got a little bit cliched and had a bit of the Disney treatment at times, but that also is a good thing because it's very emotional, it's very taut, and the performances are very commendable here with Oyelowo and Pike, because they have true palpable chemistry, and I really like what they brought to these roles. It's a nice stirring romance, and it's got that sweeping epic grandeur that we saw in a lot of those old-timey romantic dramas. So a worthy movie as well if you like those kind of period romance ones. Don't miss A United Kingdom. All right, a psychological thriller next, and this is from Gore Verbinski, A Cure for Wellness. This may have passed you by in the theaters, but you can check it out on Blu-ray right now. It's an ambitious young executive, played by Dane DeHaan, who gets sent to retrieve his company's CEO from a remote and mysterious wellness center. Things start to unravel when he gets there and learns about the terrifying secrets. His sanity is tested, and he will find himself diagnosed with the same curious illness that keeps all of the guests there longing for a cure. Also stars Jason Isaacs, Mia Goth, and the Blu-ray and DVD includes a deleted sequence and a behind-the-scenes look at the scoring of the film. This movie runs a little bit long, so it could have benefited from some trimming, but DeHaan is always watchable. He has such a great presence on screen. And the movie is beautifully shot and made. I mean, Gore Verbinski likes to create a great aesthetic with his movies, and had some interesting use of visual effects as well. So it paints this creepy sort of asylum setting and really cranks up the tension in parts. So I kind of dug this one, actually. It was a bit of a hidden gem for me personally. So there you go, A Cure for Wellness. Get it now. And something for a different crowd, The Last Word. This is Shirley MacLaine and Amanda Seyfried. Shirley MacLaine plays Harriet, a retired businesswoman who tries to control everything around her. Then she decides to write her own obituary. So a young journalist takes up the task of finding the truth about what's going on with this woman, and it kind of results in a life-altering friendship. Excellent cast here as well. It's a little bit light and might have one too many tropes, but the great Shirley MacLaine still proves that she has some amazing comedic timing and great acting chops. And you see Tom Everett Scott there and Anne Hesh, so it's also balanced nicely with a good supporting cast. And I always enjoy Seyfried. She puts a lot into her role. So this one's a little bit lighter fare, but some nice, funny, balanced with dramatic moments for the last word. All right, we're talking TV now, and the latest from HBO, The Young Pope. This is a great show starring Jude Law and Diane Keaton. And he plays a fictional pope who is the youngest in history and also the first ever American whose audacity and independence wreaks havoc within the Vatican. So this is a 10-episode limited series, and it tells of Lenny Belardo, the first ever American pope. And he eschews the total Vatican basic style and setup and enlists the woman who raised him for his help to be his chief confidant, Sister Mary, played there by Keaton. And he refuses to be photographed, and he just kind of shakes things up, takes hardline initiatives that confound the Vatican status quo, and it paints a brilliant picture of a mysterious and complicated man. Jude Law just continues to churn out great roles, and this is beautifully shot and also confidently directed by acclaimed director Paolo Sorrentino. So don't miss The Young Pope, one of the finest to hit the small screen in a long, long time. Love that one. All right, a couple to finish off with. We've got a science fiction classic coming to Blu-ray for the 50th anniversary. This was directed by Francois Truffaut, Fahrenheit 451. And it was a bizarre choice for Truffaut, who basically led the French new wave of directors. But it was clear from the opening moments of this film that this was something very special. Oscar Werner takes center stage here as a fireman who is tasked with the job of burning books. This is in the well, not too distant future, it would seem like at times, where reading and books are forbidden. And he meets a revolutionary school teacher who dares to read, played by Julie Christie. Now, Julie Christie actually plays two different roles in this movie. She plays the school teacher who he forms a romance with, and his wife, who is basically sedated at home and spends all her time medicated watching television. So some chilling notions in this movie, and the story from Ray Bradbury actually was written decades ago, but some of the stuff and the subject matter is eerily parallel to what's happening or what could be happening right now with culture and society and the shifting news landscape and how people get their information and things like that. So don't miss the 50th anniversary of this science fiction classic loaded with bonus features, Fahrenheit 451. Get it on pristine Blu-ray. What a movie. I love that one. I saw it when I was a young kid. It stayed with me for years, and I've watched it time and time again. And the performances from Julie Christie, again, who plays two roles, and Oscar Werner are sensational. And we started with Disney, we will end with Disney. Bambi, the anniversary edition, 75 years. I watched it over the weekend. It looks gorgeous on the Blu-ray. This is part of their signature collection. Loaded with bonus materials as well, including recordings of Disney discussing the challenges and triumphs during the production of the film, deleted scenes and characters, stories that affect Bambi had on the studio, other films and artists, and much, much more. The digital HD release also includes an exclusive heartfelt feature on the incredible artist Tyrus Wong, who inspired the film's soft watercolor backgrounds and beautiful palette. There's an interesting environmental message, too, about this movie that many kids may not pick up on, but having watched it again as an adult, there's that whole undercurrent of man and the threat of mankind on the forest. It comes up about 3 times in the movie, and I thought it was brilliantly done, but man, Bambi still stands the test of time. There you go, people. Lots to choose from this week. I am Thor Daicow. You can check me out on Twitter, on Instagram, @Thor Daicow is the handle, and we'll see you next week right here on breakfasttelevision.ca.